Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. 3 S's? Wow, that's an abundance of riches. I don't have a bingo here. I think I would have passkeys through a Y. So, what to do? Well, I can play Speak for 32. And I think I'll keep the second S because it's particularly useful for going on the end. Wow, grim stuff. 2 U's. I've got the OUS ending. Oh, wow. Fantastic start for opponent. And, wow, so many floaters, but I don't think any of them are going to be useful for me. Or are they? It's difficult to see words which are low probability, such as 2 U's. I've got the OUS ending with SILU. So floating D, G, T, P, K. No, I'm not seeing anything. So how to sort the rack out? Wow, tricky. I'd like to get rid of both U's. So I could do that with Ulus. That's taking my S hook. The rack leaves poor, but 17 points. This is certainly better than changing. That's 17. I could play just Pulu to open the board up even more. For 11 fewer points, but retaining the S. Let me think about this. Is there another way of getting value from the K? And I've got the out prefix in row F. I could play ALK, but that doesn't score very much. I can't see anything scoring as much as this. The board is still open. I'm going with this. Well, I don't think the Scrabble gods want me to bingo this game, but this is a balanced rack, and I've got 2 good scoring tiles. No obvious hotspots for either. But I do have Zex and Zoo. Oh, wow. Back-to-back bingos from opponents. And they've blocked the spot I had in mind for Zax, although there is now a new one through this A. Yeah. Ah, well, there's a super hot Z spot here. Yeah, this is much better. I can play Z in this spot for 65. And now can I get value from the X? Only CH is a 2-letter C word, so I can't really play down column 12, or I can't with a play ending HX. And likewise, I don't think anything goes between T and U, apart from an A. And I don't have any XA plays. So, is opponent about to 3-time triple? They're not fantastic. Okay, so they lead by a bingo. How to sort this rack out. So I'd like to play off X and I. Well, the only thing I want to keep really is the S. But where can I do this? Tay's not good, otherwise I could play Ixia. I could play Dixie, but I think that's providing way too easy a scoring spot for opponent. Playing just X doesn't score enough. I could play Axoid, keeping GIS. Very low score. Ah, well, I do have Ixia down here, and I think the play of Ovoid has opened the board up. So I am taking out a lot of useful floaters, but not all of them, and 30 points is a decent score. I'm going with this. Well, should I burn the blank and play Ixia's... burn the S, rather, and play Ixia's for 50 points? 20 more points, and turning over one more tile, with both blanks unplayed. I'm going with this. It keeps the board far more open than after Ixia, and it's helping to close the gap on opponent. If they slow down, I could catch them without bingoing. Great, just 26 points. So, another non-bingo-y rack, even with floaters, I think. Let me briefly consider these, especially the vowels. Yeah, not seeing anything. Vex is good, but no tiles go in front of TI or GI. I certainly want to play off the V. So I could play Vig, but then I'm back to scoring, or I am scoring a tiny amount, which I don't want to do. I want to close the gap on opponent. Plus, I'd like to keep the board open, and plus, I'd like to turn over tiles to draw a blank. So what about volage? There was nothing particularly worth keeping on my rack. I didn't have an E, an S, or a blank. This keeps the board open. It doesn't provide anything super hot for opponent to play through. And the rack leaves pretty average. I'm going with this. I still dodge the blanks, but the rack is looking a little closer to a bingo. And opponent bingos without a blank. Wow. So 3 bingos for them. I trail by over 100. 36 tiles and 2 blanks to come. So I'm looking to play off the W. Where can I do that? I've got down as a component part of a bingo. Onto an L, I think I would have roundel. So let me briefly consider the floaters. This isn't too far away from a bingo. So I don't think under low is good, but I do have the un prefix. Not seeing anything. V-O, there is an L, but in the wrong spot for roundel. O for wood, that doesn't work. Nothing through the A. R-O-A-L-C-A, don't ring any bells. T, no. E, no. And O already considered. Now, what about playing all? 17 points. I'm going to struggle to score much more than that, but this is keeping a balanced 5-letter set. And I'm not blocking any bingo lanes. I'm going with this. Great. Or is it? I have end iron, but I don't think there are any bingo lanes for 7s on the board. I've got unironed, column 1. Will that stay available? No. Oh, wow. Great play by opponent. So, do I have another bingo? No other floating U's. Nowhere for endiron. Floating V. Opponent's blocked the over prefix. Nothing with the O or the L. What about A? Not seeing anything. O already considered, and that's about it. Teg was a great play in terms of preventing development of the bottom of the board because no front hooks for TI. So how can I... Well, I'd like to keep open the lanes which are open, but is it possible to open further lanes? I don't know. I'm minded to do this. Not a great score, but I don't think there were any great scores with this rack, absent a bingo. Rack leaves okay. Yeah, I'm going with this. Now, 29 tiles to come, including the blanks, including the Q and the J. I think I would have hinderer through an E, no floating E's. I've got an H for going underneath this C. But apart from EH, I can't get that to play twice. And opponent plays Larry, and now if I had had endiron, it would have played. However, so only 16 for opponent, which is good. I do now have a way to score and turn over tiles. And yeah, 36 points, decent score. And I'm creating new lanes. Rack leaves okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything better than this. Oh, wow, I draw both blanks. And I trail by 80. This is similar to an opening rack I had in the Grand Slam event I'm just back from. But instead of having 2 blanks, I had an N and a Y on my opening move. And I was able to bingo with Indie Ref, which was great fun. So, opponent takes out these 3 lanes I've created, unless I can find a 9-letter play. But let me initially identify a bingo, then look for a better one. So, I think the only floater is an O. So this rack plus an O. F slightly non-bingo-y. Foresaid doesn't fit. I'll just run through one of the blanks. Bonfire doesn't have a D. There will be plenty of bingos here, just hard to spot given the 2 blanks. Still 8 minutes on my clock. So I have fire dogs. It doesn't get doubled. What would be better would be a play in column 1 through HO. And it would need to begin 1 square above the H. No. NO. Not seeing anything. What about EW? It could begin re. Let me just see what that looks like. No, I think the F is the problem here. I trail by 100, so Fire Dogs is still going to leave me 40 or 50 behind. What about a play in row J, overlapping, underlapping? Wow, indie ref nearly fits, apart from EWN. So it could begin D. It could have E in second place. F can't appear anywhere in the first 3 tiles. But what if it began D, E? I'm going to run through this exercise again, but not with an O in mind, just looking for 7s in case they fit in row J. 6 minutes on my clock. Not seeing anything yet. That's Fire Dog. Defiler doesn't fit unless you begin under NO. Still 1S to come. 5 minutes on my clock. Definer. Red fins. Friends. Wow. What am I missing? Prieft. So it could begin PER. And then FID blank perfidy. Wow. For 81, and just by way of comparison, Fire Dogs in the low 60s. So this is worth 20 more points, and this could be critical. I'm going with this. Perfidy for 81. Just the one vowel. I trail by 20. 11 tiles in the bag, including Q, U, and J. Let me count the vowels. 8 out of 19. 8 out of 18, so a balanced bag. Could I have anything through this O? Nope. Close to life belts. Through an I and an E. Four minutes on my clock. Wow, 16 minutes on opponents. They're zooming. Now, I've got the last S. So, is it possible to set up a lane only I can use? 7 tiles left. And I'd quite like to burn the B and the F. I do have the alls spot, but it's going to be tricky hooking the L. Tide has, well, it's obscured the O as a floater, but not removed it. I trail by 40, 3 minutes on my clock. Oh, Alpha's been removed. That's a shame. Yeah, playing FE would score well, but keeping 5 consonants is hopeless. Well, why don't I just play Fib? Fib takes an S, so I am creating a new lane, and it's a difficult one for an opponent to remove. I'm going with this. So, I draw a vowel, which is good, and it stops opponent playing Q with U. But I don't have a bingo with this rack. I do have a bingo with this rack. I'm not sure it plays. I have nutlets. Doesn't play in column 14, top or bottom. IT takes an A and an S, so row L is still a 7-letter lane. Any other lanes I've overlooked? I don't think so. Nice play by opponent, not creating anything new. So 2 tiles in the bag. What if I do this? If the E is in the bag, opponent will struggle to block column 15. And if they do try and block it, I don't think they can block it and play the Q. Yeah, well, I think this will give opponent something to think about. But do I have an alternative to this? I think a bingo will win. I only trail by 50. What's opponent going to do with the Q? Is there a super hot QI spot? They can just dump it for 11. Yeah, and not only an E, but a U goes after UT. So if I draw the Q, I could play Quest, which may not be enough, but it'll be close. I think this is the play. I'm going with this. So, is there a 7 here? Wow, I don't think there is. And Fib blocked the O. Is Runlet's good? It might be, and that does play. Let's wait and see if that remains available. It doesn't play anywhere else. Yep, I don't have an A for ITA, and I don't have a bingo with S at the beginning of the word, or within the first 5 letters. Is Runlet's good? And does it have an anagram? I would have turn sold through a U. Yeah, I didn't block that with Fib. So opponent, well, the E could be in the bag. And opponent will only know the remaining 8 tiles, not exactly what's on my rack, so they may take a gamble and leave column 15 alone. Or maybe they'll just play across from the L, but then I could have an 8-letter play. What's opponent going to do? Surely they have the Q. But the Q could be in the bag. Yeah, 45 for opponents. 10, 13, 14. I'll get 28 on countback if I bingoed. So I'd be on 381. Yeah, I think any bingo wins. Alas, I don't think I have a bingo. Unless there's a 10-letter play through hop, U, or nor, and I'm not seeing it. Okay, so the only route to victory, I think, is if there's an anagram of runlets, which plays in column 15. And I'm not seeing it. 58 seconds left, so let me abandon the bingo. And play something. Well, does opponent have 2 spots for the Q? Well, let's find out. I've got lest and fibs. But this is opponent's game. So fantastic set of bingos from opponent, none of which used the blank. And opponent has 13 minutes to decide what to do. Okay, so they are queue stuck, but I've only got 20 seconds. And the final score, 394 for me, 456 for opponent, a winning margin of 62 points. So well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Brutal stuff. So it was me to go first. Yeah, and I think this was the choice between Speak and Speaks. I suspect there's little between them. Great start for opponent with a bingo. Phew, no missed bingo and nothing over 20 points, so dismal stuff. I played Ulus for 17, which I think looks fine. Another great bingo by opponent, Catenary. And I trail by over 100. But I have Z for 65, which is a bingo-y score. Opponent slows down with Ovoid. And I have Ixias for 50. So I trail by less than 20. Opponent plays Teg. Dog Vein, that's nice. 24 points. D2. Ah, this is where I play Volage. So yeah, I think Dog Vein, a similar idea. And a similar score. Vanload, that's nice. Now, this was a superb spot. Always difficult to be sure of unwords, but this was a great find and a great score. So I'm back to trailing by over 100. Phew, no missed bingo here. I play all for 17, leaving an okay rack leave, probably better than any of the ones on here. And Dow is just taking out useful bingo floaters, so I didn't consider that to be a good place to play. Opponent plays Poi, blocking unironed. No other bingo available. So I play no for 17. Yeah, which is pretty similar to the other moves here, plus the rack leave is good, and I'm not blocking anything. Opponent plays Larry. And I have Henry for 36. So I'm not out of it, but I am a bingo behind. Opponent plays Owo. And I have Perfidy for 81. So what else was available? Debrief for 78. And Serifed. Wow. Just the 3. And then H6. Oh, Henry takes an S. So column 6 was available for Serifed. And then more plays beginning at J1, but scoring less because of the blanks. Yeah, anyway, Perfidy, top of the shop. Opponent finally slowing down with a troublesome rack, plays Tide. And I'm 40 points behind, so a bingo would win. Gosh, F6. FES, getting value from Henry's for 41 points. We would have been level at that point, but a tempo behind with no vowels. So I play Fib, opening a new bingo lane, because I think FES, although I'm drawing level, I think the tempo is going to be sufficient for opponent. I don't know. Anyway, I play Fib. Opponent plays Jaga. Did not have the cue. Nowhere for nutlets. Yeah, I play UT here, opening a new lane, so that was a strategic choice. And the cue is the last in the bag. Wow. What would opponent have done if they had the Q on their rack? Because without the Q, I think this is a much easier decision to play him in. Now, L3, Luster running all the way under tide for 27. Yeah, I'm blocking the Q here, so that is better than playing Luster. Opponent has no Q play, plays Vim. And finally, L3, lest for 15 is best. So, wow, what a brutal game. Fantastic play from opponent. 3 bingos, including 2 with their opening 2 moves. So I was always behind, but I managed to come back and was within a bingo or half a bingo's reach of opponent all the way to the end. So a tantalizing battle, which didn't quite result in a victory. But super fun. And now I'm recording this straight after coming back from the Grand Slam in Warrington. Absolutely fantastic tournament. It just featured winners of tournaments from the last year, and we played 16 games over the weekend. With 4 games to go, I was in second place, and then managed to lose all of my last 4 games, so I finished in the middle of the field. But a fantastic event nonetheless, and some great games of Scrabble against some great players. One game particularly stands out. I had a 9-timer asteroid for 140 points, which gave me a lead of 152 points. And asteroid emptied the bag, and there were no 9-timer triple lanes available, and I still lost because opponent played pre-check for 122 and caught me with tiles worth 19 points on my rack. So there was 38 points of count back, plus the 122 was enough to overcome the amount by which they were losing. So that was an absolutely savage loss. I was so pleased to see asteroid and definitely felt that I had won the game. And then I saw that opponent had pre-check, and I had to wait a couple of minutes to see if they spotted it, and of course they did. But absolutely tremendous tournament, and many congratulations to Harshan, who won it and is on an amazing run of victories, I think having won the NSC and the UK Open recently. Anyway, back to this game. Many congratulations to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching this game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.